Doug here, and I'm back with Ideal. We're following his journey. So starting him back, restarting him. He's a jumper, had an injury, was off for some time, and then got the good to go by the vet, 100%. So now we're talking about when we bring a horse back, what we want him to be able to respond to in a manner of 3 different sources of pressure that he may feel. So the first pressure indicator that I look at with any horse is indirect pressure. So do I have this stick and string is bouncing around out here. There's no pressure going towards him, but he may indirectly feel pressure from this. The goal is to have him not feel any pressure from this, but have his head be where it is now. So that's indirect pressure. Then we might go to direct pressure. So I might take this and go, hey, can you move off that pressure, off that shoulder? And he moves off that pretty nicely. He comes back to me. So then we have what's steady pressure. So steady pressure is pressure that's going to be on him all the time. So you put a saddle on him with a girth, we cinch that girth up. That's going to be steady pressure that we want him to get used to. So if you have horses that get girthy or they get bucky when that steady pressure is on, there's ways that we get through that without just letting them necessarily bucket out with a saddle on. We'd probably do it with like either a ring rope or or just a rope that we throw around them. Put in different spots of their barrel. We try not to run it back to the flank because we don't want them to. We want them to be able to not buck wherever it's at, but we want to also be kind to them as we're doing this. So first thing I'm going to start off with him was indirect pressure. So I know out here he's doing pretty good. So if you have a horse that acts up or gets worried with any of these 3 different pressure points, that's something that we need to address. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, can I bring this in a little bit closer? Is he okay to it, right? So you can still see, now you can see that was a really good example because the first 3 times I did it, he was building slowly and then it just exploded, right? So we want him to not worry about that indirect pressure. It was on his left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye. And he was handling it, but it escalated very, very quickly. So I know right now that I'm going to have to work on that with him. So indirect pressure is that it's a big one for him right now. So then I'm going to ask him just to move off of this left shoulder now. Okay, so did you see what happened there is that he had no response off that left shoulder, and then all of a sudden it was this huge response. So we know that we need to work on that because if there's something that's coming up from the side to him, that could be an issue if we're on his back. So we have an issue with indirect pressure. We have an issue with direct pressure. So now if I just ask him to go around me, and I just have him walking around, I just get him to walk. So see, even that's a big deal for him because he feels this. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to kind of start, we're going to have to start back with building up his confidence on the indirect pressure, excuse me, and the direct pressure. So I might start off at the other end of my stick and string here and just say, hey buddy, you're okay. So I might just say, you're fine here, bud. Can I just pet you with this? And see, if I get that reaction, I know if I go bigger with my direct pressure, that it's going to really, really get to him. Now this is a horse that's a really confident horse in the field. He is a head horse. He's the herd leader in any place we've put him out so far. But you can see how he's not confident right here because this is all foreign to him. So now I might come in with the stick and string side, and I use a flag, I use stick and string, I use a stick with bags on it. We kind of get him used to all kinds of different things. So, and not used to it as much as getting him to be aware of it, that it's not a big deal. So now if I put this stick on him just like this, now this is direct, this is steady pressure, right? So this is pressure that's going to be on him constantly until I take it off. So I take it off, I put it back on. I don't want to be worried. So he's pretty good with that steady pressure, but when we go to our indirect and our direct, we have an issue. So I might back up a little bit. I might go, okay, I'm going to go to this side. Now I just saw him take a step back, his head up went like an inch. That's something I'm going to look at. I'm going to go to this side because I'm knowing and I'm learning that with this horse that if I keep doing it, he can kind of come up really, really quickly. So I want to monitor this with him. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm off of his left eye right now. So I'm going to roll over to his right eye and see if that changes for him. So now I'm on his right eye. Now you notice, I haven't seen any relaxation in him. I haven't seen him breathing. His eyes are wide open. He's barely blinking. He's holding his breath. As you see, there's no licking and chewing. So I'm going to stay with him right now until I see a change. I might be sitting here and I might take a big breath myself. Remember, horses can hear a heartbeat from 6 feet away. Now I just saw that. There we go. So you saw he got a little agitated at first for a few seconds before, and then all of a sudden I started to see that lower lip start to quiver and loosen a little bit, and then he went into a lick and chew. The head came down, and now he came towards me. Good boy. So I'll let him explore this and figure this out. So we're going to do more episodes on this. We're going to continue this, but in this one I wanted to show you the difference between indirect pressure, direct pressure, and steady pressure. 3 really big things whenever I get a horse in that has issues and may buck or may want to rear, may get stuck or whatever the case is. We can go through a series, and tomorrow I'm going to show you a different horse, or I'm going to show you a different horse. I'll film it tomorrow. It's going to be a horse that has issues with steady pressure and what we're doing to get through that. So I'll go back now. He's a little bit closer, so I'm going to just stand in front of him. I'm going to go, okay, we're going to go back to this here. Are you going to back up? Are you going to stay there? Now, I'm going to say, how long does it take for him to relax again? Because you saw that big manifestation when he just took off at first, when I did it 4 times. So he's a smart horse, and he's recognizing that this isn't going to hurt him. I know my back is to you. I'm sorry for that, but so all of a sudden that head goes up a little bit like that, and I get you. I'm going to see a lick and chew here coming up in a second. I'm going to take a big breath. He's got the coolest coloring on his nose, how it goes from like that nice light brown to like the black right on the tip of his nose. Really cool. Really awesome horse in general. So when I'm doing this, there, the head drop down, I'll stop because it's another sign of relaxation. So I'm looking for him to kind of give in. We don't want horses to get worried, and when they get worried and nervous, they go into a sympathetic nervous system state, their head goes up. So we want them to come down and be okay with that. So that's where I'll end it with this session for him, because I want him to get really used to the indirect pressure before we start to put on direct pressure, so he is not worried about that. So it's really important for our horses, in my opinion. If you want to create a horse that's going to be consistently good for you, if you teach a horse and you kind of hammer through a horse by getting them to submit to you, you're not going to get a horse that's going to be 100% trusting of you and give you what you want 100%. You might get a backup 80% of the time good, and the other 20% of the time they might kind of fight you on it. So the goal is we want them to want to be with us and want to build that good partnership with us. And that doesn't happen in a day. It takes the time it's going to take depending on the horse. Some horses it takes no time at all, and you can start to develop that. And other horses it takes longer. I like what he's doing here. He's walking up and he's wanting to explore into this. So also, if you like this video and you see it on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and click the like button. And if you click the bell button, you'll get more videos notified to you when I publish them, which is going to be really regularly on this. And also, if you would like to get more in-depth information and have a chance to talk to me and do some online lessons and communicate about your horse and your issues, I've got a great Patreon platform that is only $19 a month. You can check that out, and it's got a lot of in-depth information, horse journeys, and a great way to be able to communicate with me as part of that package. So I hope you have a great day. Take care, and talk to you soon.